Right edition, welcome, happy day. Babies last year had a lot of interesting names thrown their way, and this is in America. Cheese, that's what I'm saying, kind of like a cheese whiz sandwich. Cheese was a very popular name. It's unisex, boys and girls both got the name. Son of a gun, 9 babies were named Cheese last year. Fairy, kiwi, ugly. Ugly? Who would name a kid ugly 5 times last year? Pea, come on. Swag, turtle, butt. Hot dog. These people don't vote conservative, I'm kind of thinking. Freak, mushroom. 3 parents or sets of parents named their child Mushroom last year. What do you think they do in their spare time? I gotta say. RightEdition.com, we're doing good. We have done very good all year. Thank you so much, all of you viewers. We keep going up in the ranks and it's getting better and better. And now, this past week alone, we were up another 1.3 million world rank-wise. And we're now at 6 million best popular websites with a world rank. That's out of zillions and zillions, and that's quite an increase. It was only about 6 months ago, and I think we were like 106 million or something, and now we're 6. Kind of a big accomplishment. Only could do it. Well, you are watching. Thank you. A tale of 2 cities. See what you think about this. Chicago and Houston. The population in both of those cities is pretty much the same. The income is pretty much the same. The percentage of blacks pretty much the same. The percentage of white pretty much the same. The percentage of Hispanic pretty much the same. Now you get to the things that are a little bit different. You got concealed carry permits in Chicago, 0. You got concealed permits in Houston, many. You got gun laws. You got number of gun stores in Chicago, 0. You got number of gun stores in Houston, about 2,000. You got homicides in Chicago, 1,806, 1806. Homicides in Houston, 207. Quite a difference, huh? The average January high in Chicago is 31 degrees. The high in Houston is 63. The liberal conclusion, cold weather causes murder. I think that must be it, don't you think? Now, recently, the Secretary General from Interpol, his name is Ronald Noble. He made quite an interesting statement. He said, you know what, to prevent terrorists from hitting soft targets, you got to arm citizens globally. Those statements are a pretty powerful rebuttal to gun control. Here's a guy that used to be the head of all law enforcement in for the U.S. Treasury Department. Pretty powerful guy. And armed citizenry is the only option that you have to protect the citizenry. You can't wait for the policeman to show up. And that's his statement, and he's sticking by it. He says, hey, look, in Kenya, when this thing at the mall drug on for many days and ended up in the slaughter of 60 civilians, ask yourself, if that was Texas, would those guys, the bad guys, would they have been able to walk around for days killing innocent people? Or would somebody in the crowd have been armed and put a stop to it? I guess. People are very quick to say gun control, people shouldn't be armed. You got to ask yourself, what would you have wanted, or where rather would you wanted to be, in a city where there was gun control and no citizens armed? If you're in a mall like the one I just described, or in a place like Texas or Denver, Colorado. An off-duty soldier armed with a handgun saved at least 100 lives during that siege in Kenya. And, you know, guns in the hands of responsible citizens, he goes on to say, can prevent bloodshed. It's backed by stats and facts, and as I've so often said to the left-wing people of the world, you know what, don't let a fact get in your way, though. Americans use guns to defend themselves against bad confrontations with a criminal up to 2.5 million times a year. 2.5 million times a year. And then you have, on the other side, some whack that always says, get rid of guns because they hurt people. 2.5 million times a year. There's something with this stat you don't get, and guess what? A lot of people don't even report it. Guns are good. Got more guns, less crime. Good people don't do bad things. Here's a fella, I can't talk, I'll get, coming now. Must all be that Christmas cheer, do you think? Here's a senator of the red state Democrat who voted for gun control earlier this year. Now he's losing ground in the polls. He's saying, that wasn't supposed to happen, Okami. Promised me that if we did this, it would be okay. It ain't okay. It ain't okay at all, because gun control is kind of yesterday's news. People, the citizenry, even the people who don't like guns are saying you should have the right to own them, because hey, look at these numbers. The stats say it's okay. Son of a gun, the haircut. Let me end today with this. It's a little bit lighter. Okay. Take a breath. Sit down. Here it comes. Blessed are those who can give without remembering and taking without forgetting. One day, A florist went into a barbershop for a haircut, got his haircut, and he says, how much? I can't take money, said the barber. I did a bad thing. I'm on community service this week. The florist was very pleased, said, thanks, have a nice day. The next day, the barber came to work, and here were some flowers from the florist. Pretty cool. That same day, some policemen came in. They all got a haircut. Hey, can't take your money. The next day, they brought a thank you card and a note, or thank you card, which was the note, and some donuts. That's where I'm going. That was pretty nice as well. Then the next day, a politician came in, went to pay, hey, I'm on community service, did some bad things, can't take your money. The next day, there was 1,000 politicians lined up for a free haircut. That's the difference between them and us. Y'all come back. See ya.